Hello, Internet. Aimless here. Xbox One reveal. Got reactions.
What was that?
Ah, boy.
Seriously, like, it was... I think it will go beyond the expectations of everyone who watched it. Because, you know, we all thought that, Microsoft was going to emphasize other things more. You know, it just in contrast to what PlayStation 4 was doing, where they said, oh, it's all about games, everything's about games, this is about making it easier to make games, here you go, it's all games. Whereas we thought, you know, Microsoft would come out and be like, yeah, here's a game, here's another game, you're excited for these, now here's our, you know, entertainment section. But, you know, mostly it would still be about games. And that was totally not the case. It was, you know, I thought it was like, basically, games during the Xbox reveal occupied the space that is usually reserved for Connect and entertainment at the E3 conferences. It was like that little middle segment was like, this is the part no one cares about because it's all about TV. Live TV is the future. Oh my god.
I can't say I was surprised because I expected them to do this whole entertainment focus because I mentioned it like back when we did our PS4 initial reactions or whatever. But it's like it was like such a huge focus in the conference that I was always like.
It was so much more than I expected. I mean, I knew that it would be that, but it was. I don't think anyone expected it to be.
The entire conference?
Yeah, like three minutes in, they hadn't even said the word games yet. It was all about the future of entertainment, better entertainment experiences. And you know, the first mentioned game was like, oh, it's just sort of a throwaway. Yeah, entertainment and games. Yeah, and then it was like, and then like, what was it, half an hour in was the first game talk?
And even then, it was like, because it was only like after all their tech speak or whatever, and the first thing they showed, I think, was Forza, right? That was like the only other game other than Call of Duty that was shown, but
Quantum something.
Oh right, I forgot all about that. Sorry. Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break.
But when I saw, I was like, Quantum Break is like Beyond Two Souls, except without Ellen Page and people caring. So, like, I don't know. But I just wasn't.
Well, there were all those EA games, but nobody cares about those. So, unless you're, I don't get into it. But yeah.
So, actually, this part wasn't clear to me, but people started tweeting that FIFA 14 is exclusive to Xbox One.
No, it seemed like what was it called? I had a bunch of...
Just the Ultimate Team mode?
Yeah, the Ultimate Team mode was only on Xbox.
Because I was like, that seems crazy, you know? Don't Europeans buy more PlayStations? And suddenly like, we're only going to sell it on Xbox, so really buy this new Xbox. Which, by the way, you know, we have to talk about the name. Xbox One.
Oh wait, RPG is like gone from the call.
Oh no!
But
he must have pushed a button on his Vita. That will do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, but yeah, after the PS4 thing, I was like, I didn't think that they were gonna go back to like whatever their message was after the Sony thing, since it was like all on games, because like it just seemed like they were too far in to like just do a 180 to be like, all right, we got to respond to this and be completely matching on what we don't match them on. But they did have like that. Well, we'll get to it later. They had that part about like 15 exclusives this year, year one. So we'll see about that. But then they're kind of slim on the details of like the stuff that they were unveiling, like the whole DVR in a console that records stuff. It was like they mentioned it, but they didn't like have too much on like, will it be free with your Xbox Live subscription, or like even like the whole details of like your Xbox Live subscription moving forward.
Right.
Like how would that?
I mean, I think a lot of those are just details, and they're just like, you know what, this stuff doesn't matter. Like, today, they wanted to talk about vision, and I think, unfortunately for them, their vision diverges so far from what even the most cynical people were expecting. It's like, games are not our vision at all. It's all about, basically what this thing is, it's the PC for the living room. So what do you want to do in the living room? Well, all we do in the living room is watch TV. I mean, we interact and socialize there, but for the most part, people watch TV in the living room. And so, yeah, obviously, if you're putting a Windows PC in the living room, it's got to be able to, have live TV on it. It's like having a TV tuner inside of a PC that you just put in your living room.
Yeah, like you said, like about the whole like completely off focus of like not games. Like when they showed the whole what was it called? The snap mode. It basically was like, let me watch TV while I'm browsing, and then go back to game
Yeah.
to TV, and then it's like like okay, if I'm gaming, I'm not going to be doing multiple things at the same time.
You know what that reminded me of? Like, you know how in, say, Back to the Future 2, when they go to the future and, like, the, Marty Jr. turns on the TV and is like, oh, give me this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel. And there's just like 7 channels on the TV. And it's like, I just have this impression that sometime in the 80s and 90s, we always thought that the future would be us watching multiple TV channels at the same time. And it's just like, that seems ridiculous to me. I mean, how? I've tried to watch 3, college football games at the same time, and it is just insane. You can't do it. But that's what they seem to want. It's like, oh, look, Star Trek, and the movie is not that important to me. I like having it run in my peripheral vision, but I want to know more about other Star Trek movies while I'm watching this one.
But yeah, going back to the name, what were you going to say, Chapter?
Oh yeah, so impression on the name. Man.
It's to me it's weird because like the Xbox One, I would always use that as a like denotation for like when I was talking about the Xbox before the 360, so I don't have to like use like the Xbox Fat. So.
Someone was saying it should be the Xbox OG now.
Or something.
Well, the controller was the Duke. So what's bigger than the Duke that the Duke is connected to? We'll call it that.
Yeah, I guess like the Duke. Yeah, that works.
Xbox Duke. Yeah, it was interesting that it hadn't been leaked at all, which was pretty impressive. Usually we would have known, at least an hour before the show. Were you trying to get RPG back in?
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird, like, when they were showing the console, because, like, they had the console, but then they showed the camera, and I was like, wait. Because like, they look so similarly, like, geometrically, I was like, is the camera in the console? Is it attached to it? I was like, I'm confused.
It looks kind of like a receiver. It's just this giant black box, and half of it is glossy. I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of receivers used to look like that.
Yeah, to me, it's like, it just solidified the whole fact that I don't need to know what the console looks like, because it's just going to be like a geometrical shape that plays my games. So it's like, okay, whatever.
Essentially. Well, so, man, I'm not sure how I feel. I'm pretty sure that right now, like, I hate it. It's not that I'm not excited. I mean,
what did I miss?
This is one of those things that I would buy, but you know what? As I was watching, it's like there was just so much stuff. It's like, this seems completely unnecessary. And when I sit down to watch TV, yeah, if it's commercials or something I've seen before, I will browse on my tablet while I'm watching the show, and it's just like, I already do that. So why do I need this other box to do it? And then, as far as what they're talking about, it talks to everything in your living room, and revolutionizes live TV. And it's like, the live TV is kind of dying. I mean, sports is the only thing that most people watch, I think. On demand is sort of the way that everyone wants to go. So it just feels weird. It's like, who do you think has the most Xboxes out there? I'm thinking it's sort of college students in dorms and stuff. So if you want them to buy the next Xbox, and you're saying, oh yeah, you want this because it connects all of the devices in your living rooms, like, they're looking at their dorm rooms like it's basically an Xbox connected to a TV. I mean, there's no sound system or anything. Why do they need the Xbox One?
Yeah, I was also interested that they're. Well, I guess they might unveil it at E3, but it's like the whole subsidized model for like if you get a subscription with this cable service, you'll get it free. So I'm interested to see if that goes through, because then it would make more sense with all this TV functionality that they just like showed us that I don't really care about, since I don't have a TV, I don't watch TV, I don't have cable subscriptions, so it's like for the last 2 or 3 years since I've been in my apartment, it's like FTV, Netflix all the way. So it's like that whole like I just like completely like glossed over the whole TV thing. I was like, oh, I have to sit through this. Oh my gosh, this. So yeah.
It's become a problem because there's like so many services out there like Crunchyroll and Hulu Plus and Netflix and everything. It's kind of just like, well, cable isn't really that big of a thing anymore. So yeah, it's great that you can flip your TV and stuff with your Kinect or whatever, but who doesn't have a remote to do that for them or things like that? It's like it just seems like okay, yeah, this is a cool feature and everything, but how about you show me these cool features in a game or something that you're releasing only on your console or something, and not just something I can do already with the millions of other things I already have that connect with my TV and stuff. So why? I don't know.
Man, I am very agitated right now. It might be because it's hot in here.
That must be it.
Like, listen, if there was a transcript of the reveal, and you just, like, look at the words that they said, and you will find, like, basically they didn't really say much of anything. And they kept saying games will be better with the power of Xbox One. More or less, different words, but more or less that's what they kept saying. And then they didn't show anything. And EA was the same way. They came up like, it's like, oh, power of Xbox One.
See, to me, that was like the most annoying, because like it was like it set the standard for like when they would show a game, and it would be, well, I guess like the two things like that in Call of Duty, where it was like it was showing, I was like expecting a trailer or like montage or something, but it was just like a behind the scenes thing of like wireframe models and like modelers and like
I thought that was
not just a straight up like CG trailer or like in game like thing. I was like ready to like look and see what the game looked like, and it was like not what I was expecting. I was like, okay, that's not what I was expecting, so I was kind of let down.
So
but,
do we think any of that EA stuff was actually in game?
I'm skeptical, especially with Madden.
Like because remember when Madden was announced for this generation of consoles back in the day, and they had that amazing sort of like in the snow, and it's like, this is what Madden will look like on PS3 and Xbox 360, and it never looked like that. And this video looked very similar to that, so the style and how the players looked and everything. It's like, man, I don't think this is real.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I will wait for gameplay, because that Madden with the face mask visor thing was like, that's not, that can be in game. But if it is, that'd be awesome.
And the intro to that was like, this is what it'll look like and play like on Xbox One. And it's like, how do you play from those angles?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is not what it looks like when you're playing Madden.
Yeah, so. Like, unless it's going to be like bullet time, and you can do all this stuff.
Yeah, some like cinematic view all the time.
That might be kind of cool. I mean, I might play something like that, but it would not. The fans of those franchises would be so pissed if that's what it was. Oh, we lost him again.
Yep.
Man, my Vita seems to do a lot better than his does.
And they showed the dashboard looks very similar, so that was interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not changing really at all.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, that part was so neat. It's like, oh, let me zoom into the movie. Oh, I'm back at the dashboard. Oh, I just have to put my hands in.
I'm saying random things, and the channel is changing.
It's like, that.
Like, it just seems like the Xbox One solves a lot of problems that don't exist. It's like, oh, we want to be able to find our channel faster. It's like, who, if you're watching Game of Thrones and you really like it, who is not being able to find that every week? Did they watch it last week and suddenly this week, like, I don't remember which channel HBO is, but somehow I know that Game of Thrones is on right now. Like, what was that show with the dragons and the thing?
And the houses.
It's like, well, that doesn't seem like a problem that exists. Like, oh, I want to be able to watch TV and browse at the same time on one screen. And like, well, there are devices that let you do that already. And two is like, how many people really want to do that? And yeah, like you were saying, it wasn't shown for games. So I can potentially see a situation where it's like I think people do it on PC a lot. You know, you'll be stuck somewhere and you'll like alt tab and go to game facts, or you'll alt tab and go to your Raptor friends list so you can do something like that. But did I lose everyone?
No, you're here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was RPG.
I was trying to add RPG, but
okay.
I got dropped again.
Yeah, so it's like we have means of doing that right now, and like, how does this make it so much better that I want to buy a new machine so I can do these things?
Yeah, even the Skype thing, I was like, well, that would be cool to have like a Aimless video chat, but I'm guessing that's probably something you have to pay for with Xbox Live Gold. that's like the whole that's like my secondary thing. Like while I was watching, since they didn't give any details on like pricing or whatever, I was like, what's premium and what's free?
I have a feeling that it's basically going to be the same. I mean, there were some parts where like the one part that I thought was kind of interesting and may play out in their favor was they talked about expanding their number of data centers for Xbox Live.
Yeah, that's crazy. 300,000 servers.
Yeah, so what that means is like I think what's an example? I don't know. It seems like it's easier to implement multiplayer on Xbox because they have the live server. You know, when you have to do it on PS3, you have to go out and say, okay, we want to have multiplayer, we want to have dedicated servers, but we don't want to have servers ourselves that we have to run for however long we want to run the game. So you go out and you go to like GameSpy, or you find some other service to do it for you. Whereas with Xbox, they have those servers there, and you can just sort of use that for matchmaking or whatnot. But they talked about they're going to allow developers to use their massive number of data centers now. It's like, oh. And well, the example they gave was like, oh, you could have more players in multiplayer at the same time. So, I could see a situation where, say, Battlefield 3 was like this, where you have way more players on PC, and people thought that was like a selling point for the PC version. They could do something like that for Xbox. Maybe you're limited to 16 players, Call of Duty on PS4, but you can have 32 players on Xbox. Who knows?
Yeah, it was weird, like, when they showed that, though, because, like, he said something about, like, when you're waiting for your perfect match, you could be playing another game while you wait for this game to find your match. I was like, what?
Well, something about asynchronous matchmaking or something like that.
That was weird.
I was like, what does that mean? So you can, like, schedule it, say, oh, once it hits a threshold of new players at my level, then it will alert me while I'm watching The Price is Right, and I'll jump into my game by saying, Xbox, go to game. Oh, it was really funny. They said Xbox a lot, and people who were watching the live stream on Xboxes had their Kinects respond. So they're sitting there watching the live stream on their Xbox, and suddenly Don Matrix says, Xbox go home, or whatever, and their Xbox would go home.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem, so.
Yes, I put away my Xbox a month ago.
Optical.
So, man, can this work? A lot of people were saying this is kind of how the PS3 first came out, where it was like, this is the box that does everything, and I don't know, the general feel is that people did not understand that, and they decided, whatever, we'll just get an Xbox. And this time, the Xbox is supposed to be the box that does everything. And I've already mentioned a lot of that stuff doesn't seem like anything that people want anymore.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I'm very interested to see what they do with Connect, because it seems like they brought that out and they're like, yeah, we have universal gestures that we have now. Like they showed the whole, you can go to home if you just grab the screen and zoom. I was like, Connect again. It's like I still see like nothing awesome happening there. Just like I know they said like, oh, a couple more weeks until E3 and we'll show awesome stuff. It's like, I'm pretty sure, like, this time I'm gonna, like, bet against myself if there's gonna be no awesome, like, motion control game where it's like, oh, dude, I got to play him in that game. Cause, I don't want to go there, but yeah, just Connect, man. Still not on board, and never will be. It broke me.
Wow, I don't know what there is to say. I mean, they talked about mostly the same thing the whole time. It was about TV. It was about making Halo for TV, but only on Xbox One. It was about NFL on the Xbox, which is somehow going to change football. How does that happen? Maybe there's a virtual man that you get to control on the field? Or a robotic and cybernetic man that players get to control on the field?
Well, they did have some nuggets of like specs that they threw in when they went over game. Well, the console anyway, like the whole 8 gigabytes of RAM as well, USB 3.0 Blu-ray drive, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and Wi-Fi built in. So.
Oh, they had the hard drive size?
I think it was on there. I couldn't see it because it might thing at full screen, and it zoomed out. So, but I think it did say 500 gigabytes.
Wow. I don't know.
But does that mean that the games are going to be on Blu-ray then? If it's a Blu-ray drive? It still plays DVDs, so.
I think so. I mean, why wouldn't you use the extra space when you have the drive that can support it? And Blu-rays are not super.
Because we'll find out at E3. Oh, that was annoying. It's like, oh, we'll show more games at E3. We'll have more info at E3. It's like, dude, you're already in a press event.
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. It was so not exciting. I sat there, it's like, wow, this is the part that we always tune out at E3, but the whole thing is this part.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not, like, It's like, I'm watching this, but I don't really want to.
I feel like the rumors are probably true. And there's a rumor out there that Xbox game development is just not where they want it to be right now. And it's something like it's behind 6 months or something like that. So, what did they really show? I mean, they showed Forza video, which, you can hire those out by other people. Or, they probably have 2 cars done if they're going to launch it at launch. So, there you go. There's probably 1 track in the game. So, yeah, you can show that trailer. But Quantum Break was basically no gameplay footage. There was like
that
very
was really weird
snippets of it, but
there was live action and like in-game, but like the in-game stuff was like not in context of like making sense of like with the trailer.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
It's like, okay, there's a boat hitting a bridge and some dudes with guns, and the girl says, I have powers, but it doesn't really say what her powers are, so that didn't really make any sense at all. I was like, what the F was that?
None of the EA stuff was actual gameplay. I don't think the Call of Duty thing. I mean, well, of course, they're on the ball. They have to do this every 2 years. Like they operate on sort of a clockwork cycle. But even then, it wasn't gameplay like they usually show. It was a gameplay trailer.
I know, that was so weird. Like they were like when he was about to say, okay, this is all in game, real time. I was like, all right, find some gameplay. Nope, it's a trailer. I was like, really? Really?
Just like all the game stuff was so disappointing. I mean, they have that, the vague.
Oh, and we have a dog. Here's a dog in mocap suit. Here you go. The dog in your squad to make it feel so emotionally engaging and what they say, character driven and emotionally engaging in Call of Duty. Yeah.
That dog's gonna die. That's how you do it. No! Skittles!
It's funny though, because like there was that whole like stink that was made by some people about like the whole no lady prisoners at the Sony thing, but then they're like there's like lady prisoners, but then in the Call of Duty like game trailers like there are no lady game characters. Like oh, where are the ladies at in this game? Because clearly it's all dude bro still. So what's up with that?
That was hilarious.
I was like, clearly this is a response to the whole Sony thing.
David Jaffe was like, "Oh look, ladies on the Microsoft.
Not just one, but two."
It's like they win, but in response, Sony has said that their E3 presser will be in Themyscira. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was the vague promise of games. I don't think is enough. Because Sony tried that before, and they came out as like, oh, guess what? Agent is exclusive to PS3, and Final Fantasy Versus exclusive to PS3, and just all these games that they've said over the years that, you know, not only were they, you could imagine a situation where they come out and they're bad. They just never came out, and we never saw them.
Identify. Pour one out.
So many games from that first one. I can't even remember the Getaway was something.
Oh man, oh yeah.
It just disappeared. What was that other one?
I think 8 days.
Yeah, 8 days. Nothing. My first thought when Microsoft said we were investing more in first-party development than ever before in Microsoft history is like, I thought was like, well, that's not hard.
Are you back now, RPG?
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts since you keep dropping out of the call?
Like,
quick.
Seriously, but I don't know where we are now.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Just start from the beginning and just go from there, or whatever point you want to hit on.
Let the hate rate slow.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's like, okay, I gave them, like, a slight pass because E3 is in, like, a few weeks or whatever, so I didn't expect them to, like, do a really, like, long conference like Sony did, because theirs was a lot earlier in the year. But at the same time, though, I was just, like, disappointed on so many levels, because I went in there trying to be optimistic, hoping for the best, and then I just didn't get anything out of the conference except for, you know, we know what their console looks like and it'll help me watch TV better, which, I mean, great and all, but yeah, it's not really, you know, that exciting for a gamer. But I was like, okay, I don't know. On the bright side, there were no concerts in the middle of the conference, so we do have that.
Yay!
They didn't go parading random celebrities on there, and it's like, we have this guy here and this person here, so...
Are you guys tired of having execs sort of do little skits?
Yes.
That is like, why? We don't, nobody, who wants this?
What little skit?
Oh man, my fantasy guy just passed yours. Suck it.
Oh, that.
Dominate.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's their way to be, like, relatable to their audience or whatever, but at the same time, once again, I don't care.
Let's talk about that audience. Was that audience real?
I don't think so. They were at Redmond HQ, so it's like, I'm pretty sure that was Cheer Squad section.
Employees.
Yeah. It was all their employees in there. It's like, guess what, guys? If you don't cheer, guess who's getting fired today? One of those situations.
There was like that one awkward moment when like there weren't any cheers, and then like there's like a total like cheer for like something. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, that was pretty funny. There's like awkward silence, and then like cheer section comes on.
Because I felt there was like several segments where like the speakers would just pause, like they're waiting for applause, but then nobody would applaud or anything. So I'm like, is he just like not reading his cue cards fast enough, or what's happening here? So it was weird, but I don't know. There just wasn't anything really cheer-worthy in there, and it's like even when they like showed off stuff like Call of Duty and stuff, it's like, yeah, we know it's gonna look pretty. I mean, next gen console, we already saw what PS4 can do. We know games are gonna be pretty. You're gonna have to do a little better than that to, get me going. And
am I the last one here who cares about Call of Duty?
I mean, when I saw that they had a dog in the game, I was like, okay, I might buy this game because there's a dog. So, I mean, I love dog companions in games when they're like done well or whatever. But then I'm worried they're gonna like kill off the dog halfway through the game, and then I'm
That's what Tropical said.
Yeah, that dog is gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, they did promise the whole. Oh, I typed it out. Character-driven and emotionally engaging.
Yeah.
This time around.
When they all hired a professional movie writer and stuff, I was like, yeah, that dog's not gonna make it. I don't know if I can. I wouldn't be able to handle this. So I was like, So I was torn. I was like, I kind of want to buy it just to have the dog on my squad, but then at the same time, like, as soon as that dog dies, I'm gonna be done. And I'm like, okay, now we're playing Call of Duty again, so there goes that. So but yeah, that's pretty much it on Call of Duty, I guess. I also noticed it's like, I don't know, do they like close out all of their conferences with Call of Duty? Is that just me, or is that like
sometimes they start them with it.
Like that one year with Black Ops.
Yeah. Then they ended with Halo, I think. Oh, it's gone.
RPG?
He doesn't seem enthused. He doesn't seem emotional one way or the other. He's tired. He's just like, whatever, I don't know.
That could be. Just be
there was no concert. Yay.
The whole time. But let's see. Skype, Xbox TV, instant switching, universal gestures, snap mode. Yeah, the two messaging things that like to me made it seem like this was not for me was just like the whole, they kept bringing up the whole all-in-one home entertainment system, and then like at the end of that whole thing with like they were doing those demos, they were like game, movies, music, web. I was like, dude, who even uses the browser on my PC? Like, come on, I don't even use my browser on my console. So it's like, that just, whatever.
Yeah.
Even music, it's like, I don't even listen to music when I'm on my console. It's like, yeah, I'll like watch Netflix, but I will not be watching or listening to any music or browsing any web browser, so. That's so crazy.
And that's the big question, like, who is this for? And two, are there a lot of people like that out there? I mean, my impression is that this is like the rich man's console, sort of like the PS3 was. But the PS3 was rich man's console because it cost a lot. This one, this one seems like the rich man console because you need a lot of things to have this all-of-one experience. You need to have cable. You need to have, some sort of sports subscription. You need to have a sound system. You need to have a big TV. You need to have a big living device. Yeah, you need an Android device. You need a big living room so you can actually use Kinect. You just need all of these things before you can have this dream that Xbox is describing. And I don't know that most of the people who own Xboxes have that. I on the one hand, I think like, well, it's Microsoft and they've done pretty well, but as far as gaming, it feels like it is being abandoned, and they're only calling it Xbox because that is the name they've given to everything that they've put in the living room. But this is a PC for your living room. So yeah, it has a big, on PC you can use Fraps. So this thing obviously is going to record your gameplay because it can do that. It has Windows running on it, so you can have Internet Explorer and you can do these, snap to the side thing. Like Windows 8 has that. Obviously, a PC can play games. Xbox One can play games too. it's just all these things are like, it can do this also. And that, yeah, I don't know if anyone, like, I kept trying to think from the side of which gamers are going to be excited about this. Cliff Bleszinski was really excited about it. He's like, oh wow, everything is so cool. Some Insomniac guy was James Stevenson, I think, was really excited. He's like, oh wow, this is amazing. I want to be able to switch channels like that. And David Jaffe seemed to think that the TV stuff is really awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there are that many people out there who are going to be like, this is the thing. Oh my gosh, this is the be all end all. This is what I want. And, you know, PS4 be damned. And, you know, computer desk be damned. I'm going to be using Internet Explorer on my TV from now on.
E3 cannot come soon enough. It's like, this was, it was so ethereal and vaporous of, like, stuff that I cared about. And then, like, towards the end, it's like, oh, here's some games. Here's some crumbs of nuggets of games. Especially after they trotted out the EA stuff. I was like, oh, it's EA Sports. Sports games. But the whole live-action Halo thing, that was weird. I was like, eh.
I wonder what it'll be about. Because after, you know, ODST and Halo Wars and just the games that no one really liked as much, for me, it felt like that in the Halo universe, like, Master Chief's story is the only story worth telling. And only Halo 1 through 3, like, that story was worth telling. Beyond that, Halo 4, you know, the story was not interesting to me, and ODST is like, it was okay, but it was like, yeah, this is because it's a side story that leads up to Halo 2. That's why it was interesting. You know, Master Chief is the only character. I've read the comic books too, and it's just like, yeah, none of these characters, you know, the universe doesn't seem that interesting to me. It's only this one event. So, what's the TV series going to be about?
I guess we'll have to wait until E3.
I doubt it. I don't think we'll even see it at E3. It'll just be like, oh yeah, we announced the Halo TV series, and oh, a tease, Halo 5 logo, because that's all you need.
RPG's back, yay!
Yay!
Seriously, that's starting to get annoying. But yeah, pretty much just finished your whole Call of Duty Defense thing, and yeah, don't know what happened.
And also the Call of Duty downloadable content appears to stay first on Xbox consoles, so...
Yep.
But since I no longer play that game or franchise, that doesn't really matter to me, so...
Not really much of a shock, though, considering, so...
It's kind of surprising, in a way.
How?
Well, I mean, I guess we don't know the terms of their agreement. But, well, I'm actually very excited to see what others out there think. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is, man. I was actually pretty excited today. It's like, oh, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna see a new Xbox, and you know, I thought that they would do something that would be buzzworthy. And, you know, I kept trying to think from the side of the diehard Xbox fans, like, okay, what am I excited about here?
Yeah, and I was like, there's gotta be something, but now it's like, it just seemed like it was a prelude to E3.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, 15 exclusive games in the first year! So that's kind of exciting, but I don't know, from the realist side, it's like, well, it's hard to be excited about something you don't know anything about.
Yeah, especially when 8 are brand new franchises. It's like, that could go either way.
Yeah, oftentimes brand new franchises, there's a reason why it's hard.
It's like if half of those are Kinect games, then I don't care about them.
Oh yeah, that's true. They have Kinect. I didn't even think about that. So, Kinect Sports Season 3, if you give it a different name, it's a new franchise.
Or I even like read about a rumor about the Crysis game, the Rise Kinect game, being supposedly for Xbox One Kinect. So that could be one of them too. So I'm leaning more towards PS4 now. So at least that's there's that.
That's confirmed.
It's like, yeah, they had a whole DVR thing built in, but they didn't really, show anything of, you can also, have your face cam on this while you stream it, or any streaming functionality at all. It's just, recording. So can you stream it? Who knows? They just mentioned it like everything else, so I'll just wait until E3 to get more details.
I wonder if they'll do a lot better at E3 now, because the expectation is so low.
Yeah, I agree. They let us down with their lack of games, but they can bring them back up with their games.
Ah, man.
But then it's weird because it seemed like I think they mentioned something about they would be more 360 focused at E3,
really?
A bit more, but still focused on Xbox One or something about we'd have more Xbox 360 something. I don't know. It was probably just one of those more E3 things I heard, and I was like, interesting.
That seems crazy. I mean, yeah, on the one hand, they've gotten the TV thing out of their system, so won't have to sit through that at E3. On the other hand, maybe we will. Either way. And the other thing is, even if it's all about games, there's the Kinect games. Which, given the audience that they usually go for, that's not going to be fun to watch. Maybe the concert will be at E3.
Let's hope not.
Because it's all about Flash. We know you missed it at the Xbox reveal. Here's hot young artist.
It's going to be an extended one, too, for a half an hour of the show. It's going to be just a bunch of people, just bands and celebrities and crap. It's oh, God, here we go.
So, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that you haven't got to talk about yet?
I mean, there wasn't much in the show to talk about, so it's you can't even...
Or anything you wanted to rage against real quick? Or
I don't know. I don't know.
Or it didn't anger you because you're just so indifferent about it. You're yeah, whatever.
I think that's what it was. I mean, after the show, I just really didn't even. I was just I don't even care about this. It's I can't even get myself excited about the next Xbox because it's nothing in this is you really need this and you should be excited for E3 when it comes, because now when E3 comes, I'm just gonna assume they're gonna just talk about a bunch of the Kinect TV features and stuff because that's what they focused on in the conference. So I don't know. I can't be excited about that.
I have embraced this console war again at the end of the console cycle because it's it's actually kind of fun. And, now there's less speculation. It's already done. But obviously it spills over into the next gen when you're thinking about it that way. And so, since February I've been thinking, PS4, I think Sony has sort of locked it down. And I'm not sure what Microsoft can do because... it really is the first-party exclusives that are kind of driving Sony's excitement. PlayStation excitement is driven by first-party exclusives. And since Microsoft just doesn't have the studios to match, what can they possibly do? And yet, in the back of my mind, it's they're smart. They've done really well, so obviously they're going to have something.
Let's hope so.
And then they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I know. I also thought the name was stupid. So there was that.
Yeah, we didn't get your thoughts on the name Xbox One.
Yeah, that was just. I had heard all the rumored names, but then when they were revealed, I was
weird.
Seriously? What?
It's usually you reserve numbers for the ones after one.
Yeah, and then when they named it X, I'm but that's how I refer to their original Xbox.
That's what I
so now it's what am I gonna do now? So
Me and Tropical said that we'd call it the Duke since that's what you call the controller. That's because it's so big.
The Duke. Xbox Duke was the first one.
I guess that's one way to look at it, because it was gigantic.
You know, it was weird.
Both the console and the controller.
I kind of like the name. I don't know. So many random thoughts going on right now. Whereas I was thinking about, 360 was named 360 because they didn't want an Xbox 2 sounding inferior to a PS3.
Yeah.
And so when I saw Infinity, I thought, well, there you go. You beat all the numbers out there.
But then their next one would have to be like Infinity times Infinity, or one of those little childish kid things that you come up with to kind of outdo Infinity.
See, Infinity, because it's
and beyond.
Not really a number, you can use that sort of bridge the number names and the names in the future, which will just be
Infinity 2.
Like how none of the Star Trek movies have numbers anymore.
And so they're just going to start giving Xboxes subtitles and being like Xbox the Next Generation or something like that? Or,
yeah.
Oh.
Like Fusion or whatever. But then when they came out with Xbox One, I was like, oh, that's kind of smart because this is, in a way, it keeps the numbers, but then it also, no one's going to think that this is the first Xbox.
I did.
Actually, Tropical, when you say, this is completely off topic, but when you said that, it makes me think, I think the only person or the only company that makes, consoles that is, devoid of numbers in them that are, successors is Nintendo, because it's, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, actually, never mind.
Well, the 64 wasn't really it was like a 360, I think, in terms of, number naming. So, I don't know. But, yeah, they have pretty much avoided numbering their consoles for the most part. Which was probably a good idea.
It's weird because there is a PS1 which is the mini PlayStation, so that's weird. Because there's a one numbered system.
Yeah. What did the X stand for PSX?
I think it. Well, there was all. I don't know what it stood for, but I know that there was also the PS2 model that was a PSX. So had, other functionality.
It stood for extreme because that's what you get when you get those. The extreme version.
I think that was just a short hand that the press had made to come up with when they wrote about it. I guess I don't know.
Oh, PSX.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
Because there's been PSX, PS1, PS2, PSX, the real PSX. There's a PS2 and a TV tuner in one awesome-looking box.
Oh, okay. It was unofficially referred to as the PSX to maintain the 3-character identifier common to the PS2, PS3, and PSP.
Ah, I see. I guess that makes sense if they didn't technically call it the PS1 when it first came out until after the fact with the other one, but
yeah, it's like the Great War.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it was a weird idea to name it the Xbox One because it just I don't know.
Actually, now that it seems to be targeted towards people who probably didn't watch this reveal, you think that's going to be confusing in the way that Wii U has been confusing to the Wii audience?
When they thought the Wii U was just a peripheral and not a whole new console kind of thing.
Yeah, and Xbox One is well, what's that?
It's we don't sell the old Xboxes anymore, but we do have this new one that just came.
It sounds like the older one, and then it doesn't have the 360 name. I mean, I think the 360 part has been, or no, I guess it's the Xbox part that most non-gamers refer to it as.
I don't know, because most people always refer to them as 360s. Even when they if you go to in the store or something, somebody will be a parents will come in and I'll hear them ask for a 360 instead of saying an Xbox or something. So they can't go into a store and be can I have the one? The what now?
Neo isn't here. What are you talking about?
The one what would you like?
The one ring over the wall.
You have to be a bit more specific. The one, that new console that came out. It's okay, so here we go. It's gonna be one of those days. But,
That's gonna be annoying to sell.
Yeah. And then when you like have people, it's like, well, you can buy this new Xbox One. It's like, well, why won't you just get the 360? It sounds more technologically advanced. It's all 360 and not one. So shouldn't I just get that instead? Like, yeah, I don't know.
So many devices called One now. I think Dell's all-in-one computer is called the One.
HTC has, yeah.
Neo is the One. The One.
Yes, it is. But, yeah, that's hot. I don't know.
And Tropical also has the conspiracy theory that they set our expectations so low here that so that they can like blow them away at E3 and be like, haha, we have games, and like you're like, oh well, I was so disappointed, but now I'm back on Team Xbox.
I'm not sure it's much of a conspiracy theory. It's probably true. At least I hope it is, because if it's not, then man, this is going to be one disappointing.
No, I'm so disappointed right now. It's like I woke up early for this. Like what the F, man? Now I have to go do chores and crap, and like the rest of my day's ruined.
This is early?
I was just about to say, how is this early for you? It's
well,
like 12 o'clock or something.
I was at like 9. I woke up before this, and I'd been awake, and I was like, oh, Xbox is revealed. So I'll just sit around and do nothing for, and then twiddle my thumbs, and then here it is, and like, oh well, came in fast, and now I'm just disappointed. So
it's like
looking forward to E3 where I can get more awesome stuff.
I know. I still need to figure out a way to get into the convention center without getting caught by security. So.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. You live there now.
I live like a mile away from the place where they're holding it to. So once I get my burglar kit and everything all prepared, I'm gonna go in there with the ski mask and all black in broad daylight. Like, so yeah.
Actually, it would be cool, even if you can't get into the convention center.
You could get to like one of the conferences if you line up.
Do what now?
Oh yeah, that's true. Like in the past few years, like PlayStation has been doing a thing where if you line up early in the day, you can go to their press conference.
Really?
So they.
You probably have to get there like the day before though.
Okay.
Overnight.
I'll buy a tent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Ouya event is apparently going to be out in the parking lot of the convention center, and that's open to the public. So if all else fails,
at least we have Ouya, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully some shelter.
It's been really hot lately too, so yeah. I'll figure something out. I'll try some ninja skills in there. Steal somebody's press pass.
Bring us
what
back
do you mean,
a controller.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean I don't look like this woman on my badge? What are you trying to say? Although I've heard that like some press people they've sold their badges to people that have been outside, but I'm like, no one. Why would you spend the kind of money they charge for that? I'm like, why don't you just give them to people? It's like you've already seen everything. Just give them to whoever's out there. It's like don't. I mean, people these days, anything to make a buck. But it's like I don't know.
But, I mean, I've never done it, and I've never known anyone who did it. But apparently, it's kind of easy to sneak into E3.
Challenge accepted. So. I mean, I would imagine it would be hard to try to find everyone who's not supposed to be there when you have thousands upon thousands of people running around all over the place. So
just wear a lanyard with a card.
It's true. That's what my plan was. I'm like, they won't know.
bring a camera or something. It's like, yeah,
just important. Yeah. So. I mean, I'm sure I'd probably be able to get away with it. It can't be that hard. I mean, seriously, I have a couple of gaming tees I can throw on too. It's like, yeah,
that'd be exciting.
Totally official, guys.
And clearly, we have veered away from the Xbox topic because it's not now.
We care that
you know, we have apathy, we have disappointed and agitated, and now we're just all looking towards the future when we will not be in these negative states.
Well, at least we hope we won't be, because once again.
Well, E3 isn't just going to be Xbox, so even if they disappoint again, we can see other things.
Are they going first again this year, or?
Well, technically, Nintendo's
I
going
thought,
first.
Cause I
I
thought
guess
Sony was doing theirs on the
going for
10th.
them since they're in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's like before you even get into the center, they're like, "No, we got you."
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine.
Speaking of Ouya Tropical, have you got your shit?
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. The gamer was talking about that before, where he was like, they still haven't shipped or still haven't gotten his, and I was like,
He hasn't got it either.
He has not, at least not from the last time I've seen. So
see, that sort of makes sense because he didn't back it till the end or so.
Oh.
I backed it on the second day.
Oh my.
So this is supposed to be the last week that they're shipping out units to backers. So it's like, did they just take my money and then lose my address? I mean, I guess that's not just a Kickstarter, but
maybe they just got like overwhelmed with the shipments and everybody's gonna just get theirs this week or something. Like, we're sorry, guys. We're sorry. Because I mean, you'd still have it before because isn't like retail like at the end of June or something?
Yeah,
or something like that.
that's delayed.
Yeah, so at least
I know.
you still have it before then.
It's looking pretty exciting June. E3. I can't see Xbox actually coming back from this until after their console launches.
Yeah, I was thinking because like even like PS3 and 360 support, Sony has like more stuff on the table until the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
I mean,
it's
those things we know exist. They've shown. I think. Well, man, my mind is just going into Xbox bashing mode. This is like, I hate everything that they show.
Although I do have to say, like, I thought it was funny when they were just like, and then we're launching later this year. It's like, well, really?
That makes me angry.
No shite,
I was like,
Sherlock.
this year.
Because I was all expecting a date and everything, and you're just like, later this year. It's like, really? Really?
That's what that dramatic pause was for?
Yeah, like, we figured that much out already. Seriously.
Yeah, like, when I was watching the Call of Duty stuff, it's like, well, first of all, multi-platform. But second of all, Call of Duty has not evolved in the way that some other shooters have, at least visually. You know, Battlefield, they showed something pretty different from previous Battlefields. And, like, Killzone looked completely different from previous Killzone. Whereas Call of Duty, it was like a souped-up version of current Call of Duty. It's like, yep, it's in the jungle. Yep, there are helicopters blowing leaves around. Yep, they're diving in the water. Yep, they're military-looking guys. And
what's optical? Like, they have dogs now. Dogs!
There were dogs, the other ones. You just...
You didn't have one on your squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's your squad dog. You have like a team mascot.
You know, I'm just saying, visually, it looked like Call of Duty. It was very similar to Call of Duty. Whereas, you know, say like Killzone and Shadowfall, I think is the biggest departure. All the other games have been very gray brown. Like they're like the poster child of the gray brown game. And even though Killzone 3 had some more color, it was mostly gray brown. Whereas now
the phone was all colorful and the big old tech city and all that stuff and
like shiny. You think mirrors, you think blue, and it just looked very different from the previous game.
Yeah, there was also no share button, so.
Yep.
Yeah. There was that. I was disappointed. All these features about connecting with my friends, and I can't let them be all creepy and watch me play things. So, I don't know. I'm just not convinced.
Like what? 40 improvements to the controller. Though none of them were touched upon.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was like, yeah, they said there were 40 of them, but No one said what exactly that was.
Yeah, it's funny because like they said that, and I was like, I bet the D-pad's still crap, even though they said the D-pad's been improved. I was like, it's probably still crap. It's probably still crap. Just throw that out there.
Oh.
The D-pad has been improved, and it still isn't the D-pad people want.
I don't know. The controller looked the same as like their previous one for the most part, except now it doesn't have the Xbox button thing in the middle of it. It now has those two separate buttons, which I'm guessing is like their
I thought it looked bigger, actually. Like, everything was bigger. Kinect is bigger, the console...
Kinect was bigger, which was... I was just like, wow, that looks almost as big as the console. Like, it's huge.
The controller looks like a cross between the Duke and the current console.
The Duke. The console itself almost like reminded me of like a PS3, except it was like more boxy looking. So I was like, when I saw it, I was like,
very rectangular, yes.
Yeah, it's like outside of like, but then the color scheme was like, this looks very PlayStation-y. What's going on here? So I'm not falling for this, Microsoft. Nice try though.
Okay, I have two questions because I've been looking through my notes I wrote. So, did you get excited at all, RPG, when they said they'd have 15 first-party exclusives for the first year and 8 would be new franchises?
I immediately asked, they still have a first party? And that's pretty much how that went for the rest of the conference.
And it's like tropical when they said like they'd have more than 300,000 servers for Xbox Live, for Xbox One, and how content would be available and accessible in the clouds at all times. So, what is like the current like storage amount you can put on the cloud with like Xbox Live Gold? Is it like only a gigabyte or something? Like something
like that. Well, like, I think it's different. Like, cloud right now for Xbox is just for saves, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and what they're talking about is everything. You know, you buy your movies, and then they go to the cloud.
Okay, so it's more of like a library as opposed to like somewhere you store stuff.
I think so. I don't think it's going to be something like Dropbox where you can just put whatever you want up there.
Okay.
I think it's.
So I was thinking that they might increase the capacity for like gold members or something. But because like now with like the whole secondary thing of like when I was watching it of like what's premium, what's not premium, I just had to wait until E3 to like be like, oh well, now I definitely am not getting gold.
I forgot all
get that for
about
free on Plus or get that for free on PSN. So.
Because I mean,
premium features of why I'm going to skip Xbox One for PC. Yeah.
I'm guessing they're gonna. Well, I'm assuming they're gonna like touch on that during E3. Because now that I think about it, it's like I forgot all about the fact that subscribing to Xbox Live and not having it is two very different experiences for the console. So it's like I don't now it makes me even more worried because like we don't know a price. We don't know how much the subscription
said the phrase Xbox Live Gold during that whole conference.
Oh, because it's probably just going to be mandatory to make their console work at this point. It's like you either have it or you just don't buy the console.
Well, it's not called Gold anymore, is it?
It's called Xbox One. Is that not the subscription service too?
Well, is it still called Gold right now?
Yes. The silver one was the one that was changed to just Xbox Free or whatever the hell they changed it to. But yeah, it's still Gold. They have to make sure you feel elite when you have it over the free members. See, at least we used to get like called silver subscribers, but now it's just free. You know, you don't get a nice precious metal.
Wow. Apparently Sony's stock just went up and Microsoft's went down.
I would not be surprised by this at all. Because it's like one of those things like you get all hyped for, and it's like everybody's like, okay, here comes the event. The event's coming. They all had to set their date like weeks ago, and then this happened.
I can see why they moved it back though, because this was really terrible.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if they did show it around the same time as the PS4 one, they just would have just like, yeah, why?
Like, yeah,
why'd you even
the
do
amount
this?
of time that there would have been to just mull over this between like then and E3 to just the mind share would have just been gone.
Yeah, it's like why'd you do this to yourself? Why'd you do this to yourself? I don't know.
But yeah, I have nothing more to say to this. I just want more stuff at E3, so.
I'm just disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I expected more. I don't know why, but I did.
I wanted to believe.
That was my own
That's
fault.
RPG. I wanted to believe.
It was my own
and
fault.
I let down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, today taken never to put my faith in Microsoft. They only let me down every time. Every effing time.
On the bright side.
And now I'm so sure that E3, it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, they'll make it up to me. They'll make it up to me. But like now I'm just like fearing and just like, oh, over the whole like Connect section, what's gonna happen? Because I know I'm gonna rage. And it's just gonna break my trust that much further.
But you don't want like next gen Skittles and
oh my god,
those
that
collect lands adventure.
Now feed your muscle. Whatever density and like all this other stuff. I was like, well, this is even more creepy.
Like now we can see into your soul, the very depths of it. It's like okay.
And like all these puzzles that people are making, it's kind of weird, and creepy, but
it's okay. What's the worst that could happen? It's not like they can analyze our body data and use it for horrible things later down the line. Yeah.
A few more things. Xbox One is not backwards compatible. The new, there's like a Black Tusk studio or something like that. They are going to show their game at E3. That's one of the exclusives. Unity is now free on mobile. Probably bigger news.
Well, now that there's no backwards compatibility, that makes it very feature equal. Well, not equal, but like as far as like stuff that we know is in the console with PS4, since there's no backwards compatibility there. So even footing as far as like software availability.
Except for all the TV stuff.
Yeah.
That is not funny. That is not funny. Drop the call too soon. Okay, TV is like not a game I can play. TV is.
Isn't it though? Because you're using the Kinect, so that makes it a game.
It's apparently not always on. So
I mean, clearly I cannot go to my Xbox non-existent streaming service that's Gaikai and like stream all these games that are awesome. So.
But you can pretend like you do. When you like install it onto your console, and it's like, haha.
Oh yeah, I'll just be talking to my console as it does nothing. I'm like, Xbox stream, Xbox message.
Like does not compute.
All right.
Must use feature that actually exists. But we have all this awesome TV you can watch. So there's that.
Yeah, it turns out, all of the rumored specs are true.
Like what?
So, the processor, the GPU, amount of RAM, that stuff.
I see.
Which does mean that the PS3 has a RAM speed advantage?
The PS3 or the PS4?
PS4.
Because I was about to say, if the PS3's already been that doesn't really bode well at all. Like, I don't know.
I just gotta wait for the price, and hopefully my PS4 funds are like half covered, and I can be like, yes. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
see, like this just made me like more pumped for PS4, so at least there's that. So yeah.
It just saved me money
Share button.
on
Woo.
more next-gen consoles, so there's that benefit. So yay, more money for other things.
I just can't wait for like gamers like first rant the week when the consoles come out. He's like, keep it on Blu-ray. Why is everything compressed? It should be uncompressed.
Oh man, I wish we had Gamer on, but I think he had to go to work.
Everything is compressed, and the details not there. I want it compressed. Get on my Blu-ray.
Him and his damn compressed videos, I tell you, that guy.
See, now I want to find the people who are excited about this. I want to see.
Good luck.
I want to hear their side, because I can't imagine their side, and that's kind of rare for me. Like, I don't know what to latch on to.
Well,
No, that's so weird. Like to me, cable and TV is like the corpse of like why would you go there? It's like so far gone.
Yeah.
Don't try to revive it, and it's like, oh, look at our new feature. I was like,
do they think that they're powerful enough to bring back TV
I
single-handedly?
think another thing could be like maybe it is just like another like audience that is not us, of people that like actually watch TV and enjoy their TV. I don't know.
Who are those people?
Because even those people have
I wanna...
things like Hulu and Netflix and everything else now.
And then it makes even more sense when they roll out the whole subsidize with your cable subscription. Here's your Xbox One. Have fun not using the game features because you apparently didn't need them.
Yeah.
Because we totally didn't make any, as you know. Games on a console. What kind of console is that?
Wow. Yeah, Twitter is talking smack about the Xbox One.
Wait, like the console itself, Twitter?
Yeah, it's like the best thing about the Xbox reveal is that the Ouya just keeps looking better and better. Xbox One, not a games console.
Whoops.
Zing.
But it's kind of true, though. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, actually on my Facebook I put, like Tropical said, like, they didn't talk about games for the longest time. Like, it was all entertainment, whatever. And then, like, on my Facebook I put, wait, that's not it. I put, so, watching the Xbox One reveal and waiting for the game stuff, that is a thing, right? You know, playing games on your console. And then, Oriole Fan was like, makes you wonder if they are waiting for E3 to reveal any games, or for that fact, it may play games, LOL. And then it got to, like, the sports game section, and she was all like, sports games, meh, and I was like, LOL, ditto, sports games can suck it.
That's not very nice. I'm sure there are people who still play sports games somewhere out there.
And there was one Xbox person tried to call, and they're like, they've already said that today is about the console and E3 is about the games. And then Dashmer was all, yawn, sorry, but that was one boring ass reveal trailer. And then I had another friend that said, Connect, sports, racing, TV, more sports, Halo TV, sports TV. That's what she wanted, right?
Oh, yeah, because, like, when the Halo people came out and she revealed, like, a TV series, I was like, wait a minute, what? Cause I was expecting, like, a game or something, but it's like, no. But we did team up with Steven Spielberg or whatever it is to make this awesome TV show.
Yeah, and then Oriole Fan was like, I couldn't even watch the whole thing, got up to make coffee instead.
That's some long coffee machining. It's horrible. The whole conference to make coffee.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the reaction from my Facebook, and someone was like, hot dogs, and a bunch of exclamation marks after that.
What?
Now I want a hot dog.
I know, right? I'm hungry.
And then I put around the world later this year is not a release date, ... ellipsis. So, yeah.
It was very disappointing.
Dramatic pause. Yay! The crowd cheers. The crowd cheered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, I was like, I can see why this is in Redmond, because if it wasn't, the press would totally just be there sitting and, like, not caring, because it wasn't for them either. At least the gaming press.
Yeah, why did they invite them?
Because they needed people to report to the gaming sites and stuff.
Well, you should see what those reports say.
I mean,
do that right now. Since we got nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, they tried, I guess.
Did they? Did they really?
Good point. Good. I can't counter that argument. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's see.
Yeah, Wii U's looking so much better now. Even with their lack of titles coming out. Although now that I think about it, you can switch between your Wii U and your TV too, can't you?
Kind of. I can also change very quickly between my games. And it's one button.
Yeah, it's true.
It says input.
But
I bet I can push it faster than you can say Xbox Go to
probably. Yeah, I was thinking, but you can't do it with your voice, can you? Yeah, it's true. You could just switch it faster than you
I
could
think
say
you're
it.
right, Chuck, about the whole like 80s, 90s, like we thought, voice recognition and like
They are
motion
creating.
recognition would be cool, but in actual usage, not as efficient as pushing buttons. Just saying, Kevin Butler was totally right when he's like, you really need buttons. Just saying that, don't forget that.
Especially if you like named your Xbox something long and weird, then it's like Captain Thingy-Mabob or TV or something. It's like by the time you would have went through all of that, it's just yeah. Oh.
EA Microsoft enter into special relationship.
With what? Oh. So Microsoft is dating someone else? Is that like a thing? Is that like their big news in the conference? Like, yeah, we're dating EA now. So, things have been going swell. First date went awesome. So, yeah. Gonna go meet the parents next week.
There don't seem to be any impressions so far. Most of it is just the recap, or I guess headlines from the live blogs.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't have anything nice to say. So, that's probably why you haven't seen any articles yet. They're trying to figure out, like, wait, what's a good way to flip this?
Here's something. Kotaku's reporting Xbox One is not always online, but seems to restrict used games. Won't require an internet connection to function, but could very well block used games, unless you feel like paying Microsoft some extra cash. Wired got a look at Xbox One before today's big reveal, and they say that games will require installation to use. On the new Xbox, all game discs are installed to the hard drive to play. But games will be tied to an Xbox Live account, Wired reveals, or else you'd just be able to pass games around to everyone you know. And if you want to link a game to a second account, you'll have to pay a fee.
Oh, well, there you go. Can't let your friends borrow games still in the year 2013 and beyond. Unless you want to pay that, borrowed game tax from friend.
Borrowed game tax, yes.
I guess the always online thing depends on developers, is what it's saying.
So it does exist, just not necessarily for everything.
It says, according to Wired, as it turns out, those rumors were not unfounded, but the reality is not so draconian. Xbox One will give game developers the ability to create games that use Microsoft's Azure cloud computing service, which means that they might be able to offload certain computing tasks to the cloud, rather than process them on the Xbox One hardware itself. This would necessitate the game requiring a connection. Are developers forced to create games that have these online features? They're not. But I hope they do, says Xbox exec. Somebody. So the always online feature may come in incremental steps. Interesting. That reminds me right now of SimCity, which supposedly offloads a lot of computing to the servers. It doesn't seem that that is actually the case. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Where else can we read reactions? Man, there are no reactions. I'm so disappointed.
Like everything else, which is probably why there aren't any.
Because I don't think there was anybody who was all that happy with the conference. Except maybe people that work at Microsoft.
Yeah, the stock thing is pretty crazy. Although, I guess since they announced it in the middle of business day, the actual business people who pay attention to these things may have reacted faster than they normally would.
Although, you can't be that surprised.
Well, here's one from exactly. Okay, my thoughts on the new Xbox One. Looks like a very large black box that will show every little scratch with the high gloss plastic. As for the CPU and RAM, when you look at it, each core of CPU will only have 1 gigabyte of RAM to work with, having 8 cores and 8 gigabytes of RAM. Not very impressive to me. That's not how that works. Now what Microsoft focused on, which was not games, but them saying, hey, look, you can control the system by talking to it and moving your arms and hands all over the place. As long as you're in the sweet spot of our crappy camera, that is. Well.
You know, I didn't even think about that. Like, there were no tech demos either, like there were at Sony's.
Yeah.
They actually had that, like, tech demo of, like, the blue blobs, like, dropping onto the thing.
Because then they'd have to actually care to show stuff like that, so...
Also showing people how the console will connect everything into one, as if I really need my entire life and all my hobbies intertwined with each other in one box. I'm sorry, but I like my hobbies as separate entities, not trying to force each of them into other hobby zones of my life. Sorry, this is the best way I could think of to describe how my mind feels and works. Oh!
Oh. I was like, what the hell was that?
So far, this new Xbox One bores me and makes me feel it is made solely for college frat boys who only play sports games and college movies. But hey, this is just my 2 cents on what Microsoft showed today. Ooh, there's comments here. Excellent. Should I read it?
Yes.
How long is the show? We've been going on for a while. I haven't read them yet, so this is all live.
Oh, I was like, are any of them good comments? Because if not, then like that's going to defeat the purpose.
Andrew, also calling it Xbox One is like calling it the first Xbox. In my opinion, I think it's stupid. At least PlayStation 4 makes sense after PlayStation 3. Oh! When Xbox is what I thought, I'm not convinced it actually plays games. Honestly, they spent like 3/4 of the time watching TV, sports, fantasy football, talking about a Halo TV show with Spielberg. Go on about Call of Duty. Been there, done that. Good for them. They can get excited about their boring events.
That was great.
Joel, they claim that they have 15 exclusives for the system for the first year. I'm questioning how many of those are Kinect-driven. It looks like the Xbox One is trying to become the next Wii.
Ooh.
Burn.
And next one, yeah, it's 15 exclusives, but did they name any of them? Other
there was Forza.
And that other game. Those sound pretty.
That was great.
Quantum was great. I guess Quantum has sort of been ruined as a game name. Or
I was thinking Quantic Dream.
That's a developer, though. That's not...
Quantic,
Quantum Leaked?
Or Quantum... It was that, like, Gears of War-like game made by...
Oh, yeah, Quantum Theory.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that game is.
Zach comes back, yet 8 of those 15 are supposedly new games, where the other 7 are going to be ongoing games like Gears of War and Halo. They just did not impress me at all as a game console. And back to Andrew. Sony revealed 4 to 6 exclusives at their announcement. I think they'll have 1.5 times, maybe double the exclusives of Microsoft within the first year. Hard to say. Zach, did anyone else notice how they were showing what they will do with the Always Online section, but shied away from saying it was an Always Online console? Sounds like they're trying to hide their true motives yet again. And my guess is that you can play games and movies without connection, but a lot of features will be inaccessible if you don't have internet or live subscription. With the 360, you can't even watch Netflix without a live sub, right? That is some crazy shit, and I bet that mentality is
Wait, you really can't watch Netflix without a live subscription?
Nope.
You didn't know that?
I did not, because I just assumed like if they were kind of just like apps on the console, like it just mattered that you had like a subscription to the actual,
You can't use most of those apps without a live subscription.
Oh, RPG, don't you know? This is exactly why I started my whole weekly videos about Plus being better than Xbox Live Gold. You get so much free.
I guess I was putting more faith in Microsoft than I probably should have.
On Gold, it's like, oh, did you drop your wallet? Well, you bend over and pick it up.
That's great. And also,
there might be a moment of something.
I did not know that.
Rich said, why does it look like a VCR and a Betamax machine got kinky together?
What the hell is a Betamax?
It was under VCR.
It's kind of like a VCR's or tape viewing
It looks glossy cheap.
It's like, I know what a VCR is. The whole Betamax. Okay. I'll just assume that that's a bad thing, then.
Oh. Who knew that stocks would jump like that? People should have bought Sony stocks right before and then sold them right after.
Well, E3's in a couple weeks, so if we can get in now.
I was just about to say. when it actually skyrockets and it's like, haha. I'm just gonna...
And then while the Microsoft stock drops again, pick those up.
It's true. I own half of Microsoft now. Yay! I'm Bill Gates. But it's I don't know. Well, I mean, on the bright side, I'm probably going to get a PS4. So, there's that.
Yeah, man. This is so crazy. I just keep thinking back to, like, what Topic said, like, I don't know if Microsoft can recover from this, because it's, like, even at E3, when, like, they show all those exclusives or whatever, it's, like, Sony is, like, no doubt has, like, stuff that we do not know about, because, like, the hours are blowing us away with, like, first-party stuff, and, like, they even have stuff on top of that that's, like, been in the works, like, freaking Last Guardian, and it's like, well, they can just pull that out and be like, ooh, like, blow us away. It's like, Microsoft, I do not have that faith in them. Like,
not to mention,
Sony year after year has just been, like, hit after hit after hit, whereas, like, Microsoft has been, like, faltering in that, so it's like, I don't even think they can, I don't know, I've got doubts already, dude.
Sony, they've also...
Sony doesn't have to do it all alone. They've been courting lots of people making games that people, like, or like Jonathan Blow with The Witness. People really like Braid, and even though we know nothing about The Witness, people are excited for that.
I mean, I think, and not only, because, I mean, Sony's also had, like, months to prepare for E3 now since they did their reveal so early, and Microsoft has a few weeks to kind of scramble and, like, okay, well, we gotta...
control, guys. How can you fix this?
Double time, guys. We gotta fix this. So...
Well, before watching today, I would have said that I doubt that. I think that they're already prepared. But, now I'm not so sure.
The joke would be on you. It was like, ha-ha.
But again, this could be one of those, now they're playing mind games with us. Like, oh, look how low the expectations are. We can show them anything, and they'll be like, Microsoft wins hands down.
It's true, right? Like, oh, you clever bastard.
I expected nothing, and they gave us something, so they win.
So, by virtue of that, it's like, yeah.
Crazy. Like, yeah.
Although, because Nintendo's not having, like, a traditional conference this year, right? So, it's like, they wouldn't even have to compete with, like, a Nintendo conference either.
I know, right? Sony has already won.
Yeah, in terms of mind share, like, I think Nintendo has successfully broken away from the industry. Like, they're
like North Korea. They're like so rogue. They just go by their own rules. It's like, we're going to launch a missile, and it's called Nintendo Direct whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, it was
and
like
people
everyone always, compared Xbox and PS3. Like, no one talked about Wii, even though it was selling, so many more. But it was
more
like,
than the rest of them.
they're
combined.
We don't even care about them. And now, like with Wii U, if Wii U doesn't die, it will exist because, like,
well, yes, that's how it works.
Well, yeah.
that is a fact.
Yeah, it's all about PS4 and 1, I guess.
God, that is such a stupid game.
4 versus 1.
They're already outnumbered. They don't stand a chance.
Awesome.
See, it's weird. Like, to me, it's like going into this, I'm really pumped to see what Sony shows, but then, like, on the other hand, I'm excited to see what Microsoft shows that, like, is, like, their 15 exclusives or whatever to, like, will it blow me away or will it not? So it's like, either way, I'm going to be, like, impressed by, like, surprise this time if nothing leaks. Please, nothing leaks, because I would be blown away.
Yeah, they can't afford for anything to leak at this point, because they keep on bringing knives to tank fights, and it's not how that works. So.
They play too much Call of Duty, where the knife is really powerful.
It's like, not in real life, though.
But yeah, like, I mean, we can actually analyze that right now. Like, okay, 15 exclusives. That means that they're going to release more than one a month. So clearly they can't all be AAA blockbusters. Because, you know, that would just be crazy. No one would release like that. No one does release like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, the summer months, so, okay, it's not going to be big games during the summer.
Yeah, it's likely going to be one of those avalanche things where it's going to be like all in the early spring and then all in like the holiday season kind of thing. It's like
see, like they can't do that. So what it's going to be, yeah, clearly it's going to be Connect games are in there also. So realistically, I'm thinking exclusives that people care about. It's going to be more like 6 or 7.
I'd say 3 to 5.
Really?
Because I'm trying to think of like franchises that would even like for like the existing ones that would even factor into that, and the only ones I can think of are like Gears of War and Halo, and like outside of that,
can they release a Gear? Excuse me. Can they release, say, a Halo in the first year of the new Xbox?
I mean, can they? I don't know. Should they? Probably, because they're gonna need it. But I mean, I guess. Because when was the last Halo, or what was the last Halo? Was it Halo 4 that was the last one, or
it was Halo 4?
Was that recently? Because they weren't. Because if it wasn't like a super recent one, they could probably get away with releasing another Halo, like sometime maybe like early to mid next year or something, and it'll be okay. But I don't know. Maybe if they get a launch one, that could probably work for them too, in their benefit. Because people like Halo still, right? Maybe? I don't know. Because, I mean, Bungie's working on, like, Destiny or something now, right? So nobody cares about Halo anymore.
I think it's pretty hard, because Halo 4 just came out. And, you know, that's a pretty quick turnaround for Halo 5. Like, hey, everyone who bought Halo 4.
Yeah.
The rest of the trilogy is on our new system.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Although I guess if they had like the Ubisoft model of releasing games, it wouldn't be too surprising. It's like, yeah, we know we just released this one game, but...
Didn't they say, though, when they announced the new Halo trilogy that it would be on 360? So would it be cross-gen, maybe?
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Or
I mean...
continue without me.
It's likely that it would be, because I think like with a lot of the third-party games that are coming out where it's like, yeah, they're still being released for this gen, but they're still putting them on the next-gen console, so, you know, at least the people who have the next-gen consoles, they'll still have something to play just in case it's not just like, you don't want to just automatically be like, okay, you have the have and the have-nots now. It's like you have to have this console in order to, you know, finish the rest of the series or something. I don't think they like make a move like that this early into the generations or whatever, so I think for the most part, everything is still going to be 360, PS3, and then you'll have like the leaking over into the next gen stuff. So until they're able to, you know, secure that audience and be like, okay, now we can go ahead and jump all these over here. And it's like, if you have the previous console, well, too bad, because you should already have our new ones. And this is where we're continuing whether you like it or not. So.
I wonder how long they're going to do that for, as far as like cross-gen development.
That's a good question.
Because I would think like maybe they'll probably go until next holiday, but then like after that they'll probably stop.
Because I mean,
like they'll give everybody like a good year to be like, all right, we're gonna cut the cord here.
yeah, that seems like the most logical. Because I mean, even with like the previous gen, I don't think there any like cross generational games when we did when we had like PS2 to PS3 and the Xbox to 360 and the GameCube. I mean, the GameCube and the Wii had, I guess, Twilight Princess, but other than that, there were like, I don't remember like a lot of.
That was the only one on GameCube, but I think the only one I can think of is Bully, because there's one on 360 and there was one on PS2, but there were not a lot of cross-gen games last gen or this gen.
Because if that's the case, then.
And then it wasn't Orange Box, but they did have an Xbox version of Half-Life 2.
They had Gun
on Xbox.
Gun and Tony Hawk American Wasteland, I think, was on both.
Oh.
At the time, it was like Project.
And then all the Guitar Hero games, of course.
Oh, yeah. But then, like, of course, games like that are gonna get, because I mean, you have to get as many people to buy as you can, so those are gonna get put on everything, obviously. But because I'm thinking that like the window may only be bigger because the generations were not as like strong. It's like the PS2 to the PS3 kind of thing, where it's like they could still release like the exclusive titles for like the PS2 and be okay. Where it's like, well, it's going to be kind of a harder jump from the PS3 to PS4 and the 360 to the one. And it's like, I think the jump is going to be, it may not be as easy, especially since the expense or like the expense of this hobby continuing to rise every generation or whatever. So I think for the most part, like the window may be rather large for, it's like, okay, we'll still be releasing these multi-platform, multi-generational games for like a year or two, and then after that, it's like we'll kind of start to phase it out and kind of push people towards our next console because, you know, we kind of have to sell those because they weren't cheap to make. And, yeah.
So I think there's only going to be like 3 to 5 like straight up AAA of the exclusives that are like possibly new franchises, because like they have the cross-gen stuff to fall back on of their like third-party support from other publishers, but it's like from internally, it's just Microsoft to me has like never had that in their DNA, that they have such strong first-party presence to just keep going like on a like steady run of, okay, here's another exclusive, here's another one, like month after month, year after year. Just they just don't hold up.
I mean, who do they have? I mean, they still have Rare, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, what's left of her?
Well, that's yeah, right. But because I mean, outside of that, like, what other like?
Well, I think they also have like Lionhead, don't they?
Are you sure?
Fable people. I think so. I'll look it up.
Oh, if they do, I didn't know that because I assumed they were still independent. But although I guess it would somewhat make sense considering, but I just don't. I never thought Microsoft it's always had like the weakest first party of the three. So I would.
Yeah, their Lionhead was acquired by Microsoft in 2006.
Oh, so okay. Well then, I guess they have Lionhead and Rare, and I guess they did also buy the rights to the other franchises, even if they don't have the studios though, right? Like Halo and stuff. So have that and stuff. Maybe.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah. So
what did they expect was going to happen today?
That is a good question. Because
it's weird that you say it like that, because like to me it's like after I didn't do research, but when I was just like watching all those like documentaries on games and stuff, and it just like the stars aligned, and I saw their like super evil like plot come to fruition of like the Trojan horse in the living room like finally getting there after like not getting a return on their investment for like so many years. It's like, I think that's just what it is. It's like, well, we've basically got the gamers as our fluffers now, and they'll come back to support us. So no matter what, as long as we have Halo, we totally have a good fan base there, and just grow from there.
Hang on, Trojan horse. I mean, yeah, they were happy when the horse was brought in, and it was like, oh, it's a
I was
gift.
just about to say,
But when it opens up and they kill all of them,
yeah.
they weren't very happy.
It's like, I'm almost sure the Trojan horse was not a good thing at the
Yeah,
end
I
of
was
it
like,
all. So,
oh, wow, thank you.
thanks for murdering everyone in our town and setting fire to our village, but, you know,
But yeah,
it was a thought that
was
counts.
not fun.
Yeah, it's like, look at this pretty horse. Oh, look at all this blood and guts everywhere now.
No, I'm just saying, like, the 360 was their happy accident of like getting their brand like up to the forefront in the like console space in the gaming industry. So it's like they were I know we just had the whole thing about like we totally outsell them, but like nobody cares about the Wii, so it's like whatever. So
I like the Wii.
They're air quotes in the forefront for like that like this gen, and then like going into this next gen, they could be like, well, now that we've had that conquest, what's next to raise? Or I mean, use our Trojan horse strategy, air quotes, to get more money out of people. Oh well,
I'm pretty sure the Trojan horse is a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me kind of deal. I don't think you can fall for that same trick twice, or at least I would hope you don't fall for that same trick twice.
Well, what I'm saying though is like if you look at how they position their conference today, it's like they're going after a different audience. It's like, oh, you like TV and movies? Well, if you have this Xbox One and you can do those both at the same time.
I mean, they've been doing that for a while. When they even came up with Kinect in the first place, when they were trying to like steal the Wii's audience.
And it kind of worked. I mean, I did buy one.
You know, I would argue that it's like it may have helped them a bit, but it wasn't like as big as you would have probably expected it to be.
I guess in terms of it working, it more or less neutralized the growth of the Wii. So it's like it kind of like staved off that offensive. So it's like, oh well, and then Nintendo shot themselves in the foot with the Wii U, so I'm not even going to go there. But it's like now that they have this opportunity of like the Wii U's been out for like 12 months and like has done nothing, that's their own fault. So.
Wait, has it been 12 months?
Leftovers. It will be in the fall.
Oh, that's fine. It's been like a full year by now.
I don't see anything coming in the next 6 months for Wii U that's like just, unless there's a new Star Fox. That's my new slogan this year. No Star Fox, no sell Wii U. Just throw it out there. But, unless there's some awesome stuff in there.
You're not buying a Wii U anytime soon then.
F no.
There's no Star Fox coming. I'm sorry to disappoint you. It'll be released the same time that Pikmin 3 gets released. I.e. never. So...
even if that is the audience that they're going for, I don't think they understand that audience then. I mean, when people watch, say, Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead, they either do it in this highly social setting where it's like lots of people are watching it together, and it's like viewing parties. That's what those people do. Yeah. People who love TV invite people over to watch TV together. And so, if you give one person commands, or even worse probably, if you give everyone commands of what's happening on the screen, that's just chaos. No, they want it to be sort of this movie experience where everyone is sitting there and they're all watching, totally immersed in this show. And, people who love movies, I think, are the same. So, like, is there an audience that wants to be there and, sit in front of their TV and watch two things at the same time? Or wants to browse while they're watching something else? It's like...
That's like the ultimate question for the press conference today. Is like, who is this?
Yeah.
Do they exist?
I don't think that person exists. I think when you have a viewing party, I think that's why the smartphone is so popular, because you can have your viewing party, and the people who are maybe not as into what's going on the screen can look at their smartphones, and it's not interrupting everyone else. But if you got the host of the party sitting there, it's like, I want to see what's happening on Facebook, Xbox, Facebook, Snap Internet Explorer, and the rest of the people are all there. It's like, now we have a smaller TV. We came here because you got the big TV, and now you're reducing the size.
I could have stayed home for this.
Exactly. There is a reason that TVs are only one screen.
For now.
Well, if they fall, oh no, never mind.
I mean, I remember back in the day, there was a very brief moment where picture-in-picture was huge, and it was like a feature that you sold TVs with. Just like 3D, that has disappeared. You know, it's
wow,
like
I actually tried to pull. It's funny, like 3D was not mentioned at all during that press conference.
yeah, it's just like it is a neat feature to have as long as you don't have to pay more for it, and you don't have to use it. So picture-in-picture, like right now, nobody talks about picture-in-picture when they're saying, this is our brand new TV, it features picture-in-picture. It's like,
really?
No one's excited about that.
Because the novelty's worn off.
Yeah, like people want to watch what they're watching.
Man, I cannot wait to have this discussion again 1 month from now when we're talking about what happened, or however many months.
It's going to be less. I'm about to say it's less than that now.
After E3 happens and we have all the pieces of the puzzle to fit into Microsoft's crazy plot. But right now, man, it's just I cannot see it. I cannot. It's just not. It's not.
They're going to surprise you. I'm saying it now. I'm being optimistic.
More breaking news. The bad news trickles out after the big disappointment.
It's like it gets worse? What?
Apparently so. VG247.com says Xbox One Live TV available in US only at launch, and it requires a separate device.
Double
O. Let's see. The separate device is.
See, that's bad because they said at the end available worldwide.
Yeah, just about to say the console is going to be launched everywhere, but
and now they're having these region specific functionality.
No wonder they showed the box. The box is so important here because that's all you get. You just get the box.
So you don't get Kinect?
No, you do get Kinect, but
you don't get any power cables.
Just get the hardware
separately.
What?
It says, or no, it's not saying that.
I was about to say that is
separately. But yeah, it says a release sent to VG247 this evening confirms that live TV with Kinect navigation, live TV with One Guide, trending, and NFL on Xbox will only be available in North America at launch. The release added that Microsoft anticipates a global rollout over time. As shown in the Microsoft reveal stream and confirmed in the release, Live TV will require a supported receiver device with HDMI output, which is sold separately. So, yeah, I guess that's not too surprising. I mean, yeah, you need cable to be able to watch cable, which means you need a cable box. The only difference now is you don't have to push buttons on your cable box. You just talk to your Xbox, and it changes channels for you.
No one pushes buttons on cable boxes, tropical.
Oh, really?
Remotes.
Oh, yeah.
that is a thing that has been invented. FYI. You missed that.
What? Wireless?
So, yeah. No, the cable box is kind of just there. You still have a remote for that. And it can control your TV, too. Cause
going back to the whole show direct thing, I think they did that to take control of their messaging. So it's I think here's just where you see an off message assault, because we don't even know what the specifics of the Xbox Live Gold stuff is for all this functionality for Xbox One. So it's I think that is because it's all going to be premium services that you're going to have to pay for. So it's they haven't shown that, 'cause it's just been an even worse reaction to what they've already shown. So
I mean, something like that's only good for if you're I wonder if that means your subscription is going to carry over to the new console if it the pricing stays the same, or something, if they just switched over or if you're going to have a whole new subscription for one that's separate from the 360 one or something like that, depending on the services and stuff you get.
Carried over in the past Xbox 360, but then they stopped letting you. I mean, I guess in some ways that's kind of good. Xbox Live right now is sort of the biggest scam. It's why do people pay this? And by adding stuff, it's okay, there is reason to pay it, except that the downside is
gamers.
But I don't think gamers really want any of that.
It's like, what, you don't want TV? No. You don't want movies? I have Netflix.
I
You
just
don't
want
want internet? I have internet on my computer. Sorry.
Like,
And every other device I own.
It's true.
I believe there are refrigerators that can browse the internet.
Yeah, it's true, actually. There are. So
Internet-connected refrigerators.
He's not even exaggerating on that. These are things that exist, people. These are things that exist.
All right. Well, we can rant on here forever until I can't think of anything. Man, saps the creativity out of my brain.
I'm sorry.
Saps TV. Yeah. So, okay then. I'm done.
Yeah, I think I am too, because I don't know if I have anything left in me for them.
Let's get out of here.
They killed what was left on the inside for them.
We have some of the first impressions.
Alright, well, those were our gut reactions for the Microsoft Xbox One reveal.
Weren't they great?
Feel free to tell us how you feel about it.
Well, nice and
in
positive.
comments, or on Facebook, or YouTube, or wherever.
If you loved the announcement, please tell us. I want to meet you.
Yeah. Once again, good luck with that.
Alright, so only a couple more weeks till it's E3, and then we are going to be in full swing where the console launches this fall, and it's going to be a crazy, wild ride. So until then, are you here to see from a skin? Aimless Podcast, and we're now signing off.